Hi everyone and welcome back to Groovy Movie Makeup, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the new Fenty Beauty Concealer that just came out recently. I just went into Sephora and bought it today, so I thought I'd try it out and see how it is. What inspired me to go buy it was the Jeffree Star review on it because it looked really nice in full coverage, and also I have oily skin and it's a matte concealer, which I really like. And this is actually the first time I've bought a concealer that hasn't been this Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. I've been using this for a really long time because it just never fails me, but I thought I might try something else for once. I really like Fenty Beauty as a brand in general, and everything that I've bought from them has not disappointed me. So I noticed that I was out of this and decided to try something new. So here it is, and I got the shade 170. I swatched it on my face at Sephora, so I'm not 100% sure how it's going to look with these bright lights, so hopefully I got the right shade. Luckily, you can return anything you buy from Sephora if it's not. So she called this concealer the Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealer. So here it is. It's the classic Fenty Beauty packaging. So I'm just gonna open it up. Oh, and over here it says Instant Photo Soft Coverage for all, long wear, light as air, crease proof. So this is what it looks like. It has the same packaging as the foundation, just smaller obviously. And it kind of has the same applicator as Tarte Shape Tape. It is long and it has the doe foot applicator at the end. So I'm going to be doing this review without putting foundation on first because I normally don't put on foundation. I don't really like the feel of having it layered all over my face, and I'd rather just use concealer to cover up my acne and my dark spots on my face and then put on bronzer, blush, and highlighter over top of it. So as you can see, I do have quite a bit of acne scars as well as some fresh acne because life is awesome, and I also often have very dark circles under my eyes and I have redness around my nose, so those are the main areas that I like to focus my concealer. And I didn't buy the brush, so I'm going to be using a damp beauty blender to apply it like I normally do. Let me just get this hair out of my face. Okay, so now we are nice and up close and personal. You could see all my flaws in HD. So I'm just gonna start by dabbing this all over the areas that I want to cover up. It kind of smells like paint. And now I'm just gonna go in with my beauty blender and blend it in. Okay, so I just blended in the first layer that I did, and I did notice that it is a little bit more difficult to blend out than the Maybelline concealer that I normally use. You kind of have to spend a little bit of extra time making sure all of the lines are in there. So I would recommend as soon as you lay it down on your face that you start blending immediately, because if it dries there, I think it would be pretty noticeable and it'll be really, really hard to blend out. Other than that, I am noticing it was very good at concealing my under eyes. I do feel like on some of my acne areas it didn't cover quite as much, but that is not that big of a deal because all you gotta do is add another layer, and I'm sure after the other layer everything will be perfectly concealed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is it with it completely covering everything. As you can see, my pimples and acne scars, all the pink and redness is gone away, so it is nice and full coverage, and it is good if you suffer from the same thing. Also, you can see around my nose area, that mess is completely gone. My eyes don't have vampire bags underneath them anymore. So I think that this concealer is awesome. I'm definitely happy that I bought it. And also from what I can see right now, this is my shade. It might be a little bit light for me, but I cannot tell that much of a difference between my face and my neck right now. It might look a little bit different in the video, but I think I did an okay job at matching. What I normally do after I put my concealer down is set it with powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Laura Mercier powder. I did notice that Fenty Beauty came out with a powder as well, but I just decided to go with the concealer for today since I already have a powder that works really well. So for underneath my eyes, I can kind of notice a tiny little bit of creasing happening. So before I put my powder on, I'm just gonna blend it out a little bit more. You should also try to put your powder on pretty soon after you put down the concealer. This is very normal. So nothing against the concealer there. I'm just putting it at the end of my beauty blender. Setting my under eyes like that. I also set the rest of my face, but I don't go in with the beauty blender because the beauty blender really puts a lot of powder on, and I just kind of want a light dusting of it so that it doesn't move around, and I don't want to put on too much powder on the rest of my face because then it can look a little bit cakey. And by the time I'm done that, the powder underneath my eyes is set, so I just use the same brush to brush off the excess. So now I'm just going to continue my natural routine that I normally do after I powder my concealer, just to see how it works with other products. So I'm just using the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula to contour my cheeks. And with the same bronzer, I'm just going to do some light contouring on my nose. And now just a little bit of blush from Tarte. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to be highlighting using another Fenty Beauty product. This is the highlighter in the shade Hustla Baby. It is kind of coppery / gold, and it is very sparkly. Okay, so I'm done putting all the rest of my products on, and I must say the concealer reacted very well with it. I think that as long as you set your concealer, no matter which one you're using, it'll be much easier to apply other powder products on top of it. This concealer worked with my Laura Mercier powder very well. When I look really up close, I cannot really see the concealer. Like, I do have texturized skin, so whenever I put any kind of foundation or concealer on, it is kind of noticeable, but in the spots where my skin is clear, I can hardly see it. With the Maybelline concealer, especially right here, I normally notice a lot of creasing even when I do set it, but this looks pretty flawless right now. I am noticing a little bit of settling into my fine lines underneath my eyes. Yeah, so right there. I will see how this progresses throughout the day, because I have not really seen my eyes crease that much underneath. It makes it look like I have wrinkles, which I don't. And I know this because I don't see that when I don't have makeup on, and with my other concealer, I have never noticed it. So I will keep tabs on that and check back in a couple of hours. But overall, I really like the full coverage. That's the most important thing to me, especially since I don't like wearing foundation. So I like it when my skin looks like there are no acne scars on it. Obviously, I'm sure many people can relate to that, and this concealer definitely does the job. Other than that, I could see it. I could see how some people might think it's drying, but since I have naturally oily skin, I don't feel that it's dry right now, but it is a matte formula, so people with dry skin always should look out if it says that it's matte, because that could mean that it won't react that well with your dry skin and it might make it feel even drier. So in that case, I would try to look for a concealer that has more of a luminous or dewy formula. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on the concealer if you do end up buying it, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram for more groovy looks to come, and I will be back in a couple of hours to check on these old lady eyes. Okay, so it is a couple hours later, and there is a bit of creasing underneath my eyes, and I have never noticed that before. This is the first time that a concealer has done this to me. So I guess that is the only downside to this. Maybe if I tried putting on a primer or something underneath, I don't know. I'll just have to experiment. But as of right now, I'm probably going to avoid using this for that area and mainly just use it to cover my acne and other discoloration around my face that are not my under eye circles. So other than that, I still like this concealer, and I hope everybody has a good night. Bye!